adult frozen beverages. Hey guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. It's Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Today's Memorial Day, and a lot of people spend Memorial Day with family, friends, outside, if the weather's cooperating, celebrating. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Taking vintage and using it to entertain outside. What are some ideas? How can we do it? And use the vintage so it's the star only second to nature and being outside. Now, I love nature. Nature's my happy spot, whether I'm planting a flower, potted plants on my patio, taking a walk on a trail somewhere, or sitting by the ocean. Nature is just where I love to be. I hope you all have some place where it is as calming to you as nature is to me. But let's jump into this video. How can you entertain outside? We've already talked about decorating. Now you have your beautiful outdoor space with a nice mixture of modern and vintage. And you're going to host a get-together, whether family or friends. So how are you going to make the most of this beautiful setting you've created, not only with your vintage and modern mix on your with your outdoor living, but your beautiful space, whether you have acres to enjoy or just a small yard or even just a small enclosed patio? How can you make the experience even that much more? And you're already starting off great because you've already got your vintage modern mix, you've got your beautiful nature. How can you make it even better? Throwing in a few items that make life easy to entertain, that maybe set off your table, set off your food. It can be either or both. So first we're going to start with just making entertaining outside easier, but with a vintage flair. And for that, since today is nice and not raining, we're going to go outside to do this video. So come on. Okay guys, first we're going to start in the kitchen. And we're going to start with a very important thing because Memorial Day, people like to celebrate. They like to be happy. Adult beverages might be flowing. So for your guests and for your own peace of mind, you want to make sure you have coffee. And what better way to make a lot of coffee than a 1970s coffee pot? Everything's in here and it works. You can make a lot of coffee, so when Uncle George gets a little too happy off his adult beverages, you can make sure he's either good to have somebody drive him home or he is good to drive himself. Now, as far as adult frozen beverages or friendly non-alcoholic beverages, kid beverages, a vintage blender. And if you have a bar set up outside in your outdoor living space, nothing sets a vintage vibe more than vintage appliances. This is a beautiful, I'm gonna butcher this, Ostersizer Marquee blender. It's in the avocado green. That is definitely coming back in decor, and it works. I did a video over on my Facebook page, which is linked down below. You can go hear it. It works. So this would look amazing outside for all those frozen beverages, both adult and non-adult. Or if you don't have a bar outside, of course, inside with the coffee pot. And paired together, this is a statement, and this will be Pinterest worthy if you like to set the aesthetic and you are the person in your friend group that knows what's going on. Okay, now we're gonna go outside. Okay guys, we are now outside in my outdoor space. And like I said, if you have a bar set up outside, maybe a vintage console table with a shelf underneath, maybe something you've kind of made yourself. That would be beautiful and serve perfectly as a vintage bar. Then you could bring your vintage mixer, your vintage bar glasses, everything out here to serve. Now, for the actual entertaining, what would you do? How could you weave vintage in like you did in your beautiful outdoor living space? It's really simple, and the first thing you're going to want to purchase for your summertime entertaining is vintage Tupperware. It needs to have no peeling, no melts, no scratches, deep. I mean, you can have surface scratches, it's not gonna hurt you, but no deep, really, where the plastic's peeling up. You don't want any peeling plastic. You don't want any melt marks. You just want a nice, clean, normal set of Tupperware, okay? Tupperware glasses, Tupperware plates, bowls are perfect for pool time, outdoor entertaining, because sometimes maybe it's not the kids that break, but it's like Uncle George who had too many adult beverages. Okay, so having a good quality vintage set of Tupperware is the best thing to have. Besides having the plates, bowls, and cups, these travel. I call them travel because they come with handles. These two don't have handles, but I have a set in my Etsy shop that come with handles. Are perfect, but you can carry them too. Look, you can stack them. Perfect to carry, okay? This is a pie carrier. This is a veggie divided tray. I'm going to show you inside. Now, this veggie divided tray would hold all sorts of fruits and vegetables. You could put a little dip in the center if you wanted, or just use that for more tomatoes or something and have the dip separate, okay? But not only that, look at this. What comes to mind? You could put some pizza slices in here. You could make sandwiches and put in here. You could put flat, like cookie cake pieces in here. There is a lot of things this will hold besides your fruits and vegetables. So this is a must-have if you entertain, or if you have a friend that you're always taking items to their house to entertain with. Perfect travel, handle or no handle. Again, because they stack. And this vintage Tupperware is in excellent shape. No peeling, no scratches, no burns. And then this is your pie holder. You can see that, right? It also holds cupcakes. It will also hold a stack of sandwiches. It will also hold cooked meat, like hamburger patties or sausage. Just put some foil so you don't stain and get it all greasy, but it will hold a pile of French fries. It can hold a lot of things. It doesn't just have to be a pie keeper or a cupcake keeper, okay? Besides that, I don't know about you guys, but I live in Texas, and one thing that is at a lot of gatherings is queso. Now, this is a bean pot. You make beans in it. It comes with a burner, comes with a cord, and guess what? It works. It also comes with 8 little pots. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? On your console table, if it's not a bar and it's set up for people to maybe get some chips, maybe help themselves to dip, that sort of thing. Guys, put your queso in here. It will stay warm. Have it served in your little bean pots if you don't have an Uncle George who loves adult beverages, or if you're not afraid of breakage. This set is amazing. Again, 8 little pots and the bean pot. Of course, in winter, it can be beans, or you could make refried beans and put them in here, or meat, your taco meat if you're doing a taco bar. Lots of options for this. This is going in my Etsy shop, by the way. But guys, when you see stuff like this out, don't just think, oh, I don't eat beans, or I don't need a bean pot, that's too little. What about something to serve at a party, an event. You've got to think outside of normal uses. And that's kind of why I am so big on vintage events and prepping for a vintage wedding event to host for future brides, wedding planners. But I'm going to also have an event for event planners to teach them how to work vintage into their setups. Think outside the box when you find these things. Now lastly, these are paper plate holders. How many of you remember these? They're great. Are they small for plates today? Yes, but should we be eating this size? Go back for more. Guys, these will keep your paper plates from getting soggy, because I don't care what you tell me, even the best brands, if you put a lot of food and it's a lot of wet, get soggy. I have a bunch of these, but not only can you use them for paper plates, you can use them for decor, as I showed you here. You could use these outside, coat them with a nice weather-resistant spray paint and hang them on your walls outside if you wanted to. But for entertaining, these are perfect. Don't sleep on these. I have a ton that are going in the Etsy shop, and all this stuff will be going in this week, I promise. I have been really lackadaisical about entering Etsy items, but I promise you, I have Father's Day stuff, I have entertaining for summer, and it's all going in there. The last thing doesn't have to be a food related item. Vintage little baskets. This is a chicken wire basket that was used to collect eggs. But you know what? You could put your napkins in here. You could put a napkin in the bottom and then stack silverware in it. So there's a lot of different uses for this, and it would be a really great entertaining decor piece. You could also put this, like I said, on if you have the vintage console and you have your bean pot with your queso or your refried beans or your taco meat laid out, you could have this for, spoons, napkins, forks, like I just said. And it would be chef's kiss paired with other vintage items. Or you put it out with these, and again, it's just a look. It's an aesthetic moment. It's useful. It's like all these things combined. And there's also vintage Jello molds like this and this. I have the small one in my booth. Fun for summer. They have the small one has little impressions like flowers and Christmas tree for holidays. So don't sleep on the vintage. Don't sleep on the vintage Tupperware. There's also this small cheese grater that I have in my booth. Again, you grate your cheese in there, you put the lid on, and you carry it wherever you're going. Or you put it in your fridge till you're ready to serve it and put it in something else. These items are all very versatile. So guys, these are just some really simple, really easy ideas to work vintage into your outdoor entertaining or your indoor entertaining. If you're having a taco bar and it's storming outside, put your queso in the cute little bean pot with the little pots to serve it in. Guys, if you're eating inside, you can still eat on paper plates. And again, these will keep your plate from sogging, folding in. So if somebody's carrying a big plate of food because Uncle George is starving and his plate collapses as he's going to sit down, all over your nice new rug, all over your white couch, these will prevent that. So guys, I hope you have a happy Memorial Day today. I will see you at the end of the week. We are doing Father's Day gift ideas, so come back for that. Take care. Have an awesome holiday if you're in the U.S. Have an awesome Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, wherever you are. See you next time. Bye-bye.